What's up, guys? Red here with the Brush Mountain Archery YouTube channel. Today I've got my tree stand here and I wanted to show you guys how I set it up, just real quick and easy, and hopefully give you guys a quick demo on how I put it in a tree and maybe do it a little bit differently from what some of you guys might do. I've had good success with this the last couple of years on how I set this, and haven't really seen a decrease in deer I see, and honestly it's better shot angles when I'm set up this way, so I really like how I've been setting up lately. So, all right, let's start with, spin it around quick. Obviously backpack straps, got to carry your tree stand wherever you're going. And on the bottom here, I have a hand muff. In that hand muff, I keep the strap for the tree stand, and I keep in the little zip pocket, I have hand warmers in here if I need them. I have snippers to trim any brush if you're allowed to. I don't know if public land everywhere you're allowed to trim stuff, so just make sure you're following the rules, obviously. But that's what I keep in here, and that's sort of my bag. I don't carry really a backpack or anything with me. On the back side of this, I use that strap for that hand warmer, and I strap any kind of extra clothes I need. Instead of carrying a big bulky backpack, what I'll usually do is I'll throw a water bottle in whatever coat pocket, and any kind of other gloves, if I need like overpants, anything like that, I just use the strap of that hand muff to keep everything sort of cinched down on my tree stand. Other thing that hand muff does, it almost acts like a lumbar pad, so when you put it on, it keeps it at a good angle and keeps everything from hitting you in the kind of the ass when you're walking down through the woods. Pop this. And again, this is all part of a system. When I get to a tree, this is all like, I'll show you guys here in a second. And I'll kind of tell you everything that's running through my head as I'm going through setting up the stand. So pop this off, and then I keep my sticks tied straight to the bottom, or my seat of my stand. And really that's the only thing that's tied to the stand. This is gonna be super hard to see. I can maybe put a picture in here. I use I don't know what they call this, but the cleat that the rope ties to around the tree, I use that to keep everything sort of cinched up tight onto the seat. And I kind of run it in an X pattern almost. So on this stand, before I untie this, on the bottom of the seat, you can see there's 4 of these little tie lugs. I just tie the sticks right to that lug and then cinch that all down super tight, and they can't go anywhere when you're walking around. So then they come off of here when I'm in the woods, super simple. It doesn't make any noise at all. Just get them off there. I've only been carrying 2 sticks. We'll go over more of that here in a couple minutes. But again, notice, only 2 sticks. No aiders or anything. And then to keep this post from banging back and forth, all I do here is you steal a couple hair ties from your girlfriend or wife or whatever you got there, and that's all that locks my post to the stand for transport. I find that that's a super simple, super cheap option to lock that baby down. It has a little bit of play, but again, you'll see I have stealth strips in here, so none of that makes any noise when I'm running through the woods. You can hear that. There's really no sound even if that does bounce. So all right, so let's move over to a tree, and I'll give you guys a quick idea of how I set this up into a tree. All right, so now we're going to talk about the system that I use every time I go to a tree to hang my stand. I use this system every time I go to a tree. In my opinion, having a system that you use every tree you go to makes you as efficient and as quiet as possible when hanging your stand, And I feel that that's everything, especially in high pressured areas. If you're clanging sticks around and making a bunch of metallic noises, I don't think you're gonna see nearly as many deer as if you just get in there and slip in quiet and stealthy. So every time I go to a tree, obviously you gotta take stand off my back and drop it at the front of the tree. And I'm just making like a preliminary assessment of what I need to do to get up into this tree. And what I'll do is I'll take first the snippers, if it's legal where you're hunting. I'll take the snippers and anything that might get in the way of that first stick, I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Especially any briars or anything that's gonna really grab your clothes and make a bunch of noise when you're trying to climb up there. A lot of clothing, especially like any, I don't even know what they call it, like anything that's windbreaker on the outside that's not coated with something has like a real swish. And anything that's grabbed by pliers that's that material makes a ton of noise. So we'll trim everything that's in our way sort of out of the way. Then I'll put my snippers back away for now, just so I don't drop them on the ground and lose them or something. If you know me, I tend to lose things. So again, having a system, I tend to not lose as much stuff. And the less stuff you're losing and looking for, the less motion you're making. So, and then what I'll do is I'll just lean this up against my knee and I'll untie everything off of that stand and prep that stand. And by prep the stand, I just mean I have the gear ties that I showed you guys that hold the post, and then any of the stands that have the seat shelf. Make sure you get this bolt up to where the stand will fold flat. Because if the stand won't fold up flat, you can't hang the stand. Then I'll just get those hair ties off of there and put them around my wrist again so I don't lose them. Then I'll just sit that stand to the side for now. And then I'll get those sticks apart. And what I'll do with this first stick, actually let me move you guys real quick and get you a better angle of actually how this all right, there we go. What I'll do is I'll take and I'll set this stick and I'll put my knee on the bottom of it, right above that lower button. And that's where I'll set my first stick. And obviously, these are the rope attachment method. I haven't found too much of a difference between buckles and ropes. Ropes kind of, I feel, are a little bit more efficient for having more use than just your tree step. Again, as you can see, that briars catch on everything, so you kind of almost have to manage everything you're doing. That is one of the downsides to the rope mods, is you have to manage that a little bit more. And just give that stick a shove to set it. Make sure my steps are where I want them. Then generally what I'll do next is I'll set my stand in place. So I'll get out of my little hand muff there my strap for my stand. And again, I'll just flip that stand down, get that strap on that baby. And depending on how high I want this, This one's gonna be a little borderline, I would say. But a lot of the time, what I'll do is just grab this stand right like this, and from the ground, just reaching around the tree, getting that stand up as high as I can. I try to hold both the platform and the beam when I do this, and just sort of work that strap tight. And then that will be my stand for the day. My next step then, because as you can see, I have a step on this side, my platform is on this side. So what I do next is I take hang on, let me move you guys back down here again so you guys can see a little better. All right, and then what I'll do is take that second step and I'll feed the rope almost through the beam of my stand and pull that around. And that'll be that setup. So as you can see, I got my first step over here. And again, 2 straps are recommended for these tree stands. I'm kind of what you would call a little fella. So I don't worry as much about the second strap. I know it's a little bit less safe, but, and then what we do, sort of work around that tree. We'll take this foot, give that a little set in there. And then we'll reach back over, go front foot first, get around to that platform, and give her a little toe hook. And that'll be our set for the night. We can plaster right up against this tree, look the whole way out over that field over there. We have a little section down here. Not that that's the important part. The real lesson to this video, as you can see, I'm only 6 feet high, 7 foot high. And then I'm using this natural back cover. Anything that's out in that field, here, I'll climb down and give you guys a look as to what that looks like. So as you can see, our platform's head height, a little bit less than head height, less than eyeball level. This will be essentially what we're looking at. And then from the field on the other side where you're actually going to have the game come out. You're hidden. The platform of that stand is about right there. Get a little closer. As you can see, we're sort of hidden right in behind there. And obviously you have to do a little bit of trimming with that bush in front, but you really only want to trim just a couple little shooting lanes out of there to get your bow through. Climb up in here quick. Then we're looking at doing a little bit of trimming with maybe this stuff up in here to get a nice lane through there. And then maybe this branch here. And then we have a nice shooting lane up through here and over here. If anything comes down through there, our wind's blowing that direction. And then anything that's up behind us. That's not as much of a shooting lane. If you pre-prepared, you could trim that little bush and get a third shooting lane. I don't think that's quite necessary, especially with hunting like this. Anything that's in here is going to be coming out of that bottom area, I would imagine. Well, actually no. I live here. I know that they come out of there. So you're going to be getting a good shot on anything that's coming out of there. And you're essentially hidden from them. Now, let me put, I don't really have anything to throw up here even to show you guys. But as you can see, you can't see that from the other side. They'll walk 5 feet right on the other side of that fence row and barely even see you. And again, before it gets crazy in the comments, this is my opinion. This is how I do it. Everybody's a little bit different. If you're going 20 feet up in the air, that's your call. In my opinion, this is safer, being closer to the ground, and I don't feel it's necessary. I get as good of cover, I feel, being this low to the ground, and I get better shot angles. I've hit a lot of one-lunged animals from really high up in a tree. If they walk under your tree, which is kind of the ideal scenario, as close as you can get, you're getting not as great of a shot angle. I can hit both lungs if I'm only 6 feet above them. All right, so now let's get into breaking all this down. Just like setting everything up as a system, breaking everything down should be a system too. Just because you got in clean, if you didn't get anything, you still want to get out clean, not spook anything. So the name of the game is to be dead quiet getting out. And again, as you're going to hear me say a lot, developing a system makes you more efficient. Being more efficient means you're quieter. So let's go over how I do this. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to reach up here, pop this stand loose, and get that strap off the tree. When I do that, I generally hold on to the buckle. The buckles will make a little bit of noise. So I try to hold on to that. And then I just drop that right there on the ground, pop that strap off, go over to my hand muff, pop that baby in there as soon as I get that stand off the tree. And then generally what I do is I'll just collapse this baby up, get that seat shelf screwed into place. And then get that hair tied into place. That way I'm ready whenever I get my sticks together to just tie that up and go. Then I'll pop top stick off. And there isn't really much of a rhyme or reason to this part, but my top step will be the one that I just tie the rope into the rope keeper of the stick. And then I'll go to my bottom step. And get those babies popped together and all set in place where they need to ride. And again, this is entirely dependent on whatever gear you want to use. Their system can be developed for anything that you want to use. It's just how complicated you want to make it. Then I'll just pop these. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot you right up close and give you sort of a close-up of how I go about tying those sticks to the stand. All right, so I have my end here, and I mentioned those gear tie hooks earlier on the seat itself. I'll go around the post first, up over to crossed, and then I'll go up over the other way and around that bottom gear hook there, back up over across to this side, around that gear hook there, and then I'll give them a tie that way. And then just give it a little bit of a wrap around that step to keep everything from catching on stuff. And then we're back to where we're taking, again, just toss your coat or whatever you're taking with you. You can do this with a backpack, coats, extra bibs, whatever you take in with you. And I'll take this underneath my shoulder straps and just around that coat, fold it down over on the thing, clip that, have a little lumbar pad, and have my shoulder straps that I can just pick that up and go. What's up guys, Red here. A little postscript for our last video. We want to make this channel about stuff that you guys want to see. So if you guys have any suggestions for different videos or bow builds or tests that you guys might want to see done, please let us know in the comments down below and we can make that happen for you. We want to build this channel on stuff that you guys want to watch, not just product videos to try and sell stuff. We really want to help educate people in archery and make them better archers. So if there's anything that you guys feel will make you better, or you guys just want to know, please let us know and we can make videos about that stuff and help you guys out. As always, thank you for watching the videos. Please like and subscribe. It does help. And your comments down below for videos that you might want to see would definitely give us inspiration and give you guys stuff that you guys actually want to see. Thanks again. We look forward to hearing from you.